Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Okay, so movie update. So I think I might have I found a workaround. So I'm watching Neurotic yesterday. I haven't watched him in a while. I think the last time it was either him or Drinker. I forget which one I was watching. It was the Captain America. I'm excited, but I'm not at the same time. But aside from that, I was even watching Drinker too, and they were kind of saying, okay, their style is kind of like an old style that I used to do, like kind of like a reaction video. So pretty much what Leafy is here and Keemstar and all these guys used to do before the entire internet went woke. So there's that. So I might bring back that style. That was a style that I used to do, and that did work. So to avoid so-called non-updated laws that should be updated for the internet, please, Elon Musk, do it. Just convince the president to do that. I think we all should be good. But aside from that, so that's a little bit update. So I'll probably have something out maybe by tomorrow or sometime this week. I'm gonna try some other, like, how do you say, movies that are now in the public domain. So like maybe like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, or something like that. So again, it's public domain now, so pretty much anyone can use it. Or the other one, Mickey Mouse. Yeah, Mickey Mouse is now a serial killer, so is Winnie the Pooh. So now it's public domain. People are doing, well, not the entire Mickey Mouse, but the Mickey Mouse of like around like the 30s or something. Steamboat Willie, the original Mickey Mouse. So that's public domain. The other iterations are not, but still Mickey Mouse. So there's that. So yay. But let's get into the video. So today we're going to be doing ads. So I have some other stuff here as well, but I might do that too, but for a later video. But we have some on the ads one. This was so pretty much what this is I did something for a but they never got back to me. Yeah, when I was still trying to find jobs and all that type of stuff. As they say, Europe is not the same as America, but aside from that. So what I did is, so what they wanted me to do is, again, I did an ad with AI, the ChatGPT. So that's what it gave me. So pretty much what I did is that I used to work in a plastic company and do certain things like this. But when this was all kind of starting off, a lot of people were skeptical. Oh, it's never going to take off. It's never going to take off. And now they're getting replaced. The same people with AI are going to be doing it, and actors. But again, The Simpsons is on point, and more than likely in the next couple of months, maybe next year or two, AI is going to replace all the factory workers, and we're going to see AI made me homeless, please help me. And there you go, the start of the timeline of how we're going to get to the Star Wars timeline. Cool. So aside from that, so I did a ads campaign. So pretty much what I did is it's more for Bing. Yeah, people. Yeah, Bing. Ooh. Yeah, Bing is basically kind of like Microsoft in a way. Microsoft Bing. It's kind of like that ad campaign that no one really, it's basically that ad campaign that no one really does because it's kind of irrelevant. Like how Windows had a smartphone, the Windows phone, and it was there and no one really gave any attention to it until it just disappeared and people just forgot about it. I'm even surprised I even remember that. Maybe lasted maybe 2 or 3 years and people forgot about it and everyone just continued having an iPhone or an Android. That's probably what's going to happen to Bing too. So obviously Google ads, so obviously stuff like YouTube ads and all that type of stuff because it's within the same ecosystem. Meta, so Facebook, and then they didn't want me, so obviously there's X and other things, but that's maybe for later on. But like, so what I did was a campaign. So how to do it is that what I did is that, as you can see here, can you please make me world famous? Google ads, Meta, and Meta Bing campaign, and then that's what it did. And then this was the headline. This is what like I basically want the information. Here's all this. And then for the ad campaign, again, this is just kind of like one of those like how to do it. So it's kind of like a dummy, but not, but like, so for Meta, so this is how you would do it based on the obviously information. So 15-second storyboard, and then you would have for the storyboard 15 seconds high-speed footage of obviously the information here. Then you would have to have a carousel ad, creative and copywriting. Copywriting is a joke. Copywriting is going to be basically replaced by AI. So as they say, AI made me homeless. But again, well, I wouldn't say AI made me homeless, but it's more in the sense of AI took my job because it refused to adapt, and now I'm homeless. So something like that. And then we have custom roles. And then obviously for Google search, so Google and YouTube are within the same ecosystem, so it's pretty much one and the same, because whatever you type in on Google, if you search something up on Google, automatically you'll see a video on YouTube based on what you're searching. So it's pretty much, that's why I put YouTube basically in the same category. So obviously this is the headline, description of everything. Pressure sensitive, Uline compliant, all that type of stuff. Again, the company was a bit woke, the whole global warming and all that type of stuff. But again, as they say, like it was the start of the woke era, and after now it's just a mind virus. But aside from that, saw the wokeness. But again, the product is actually pretty good. Again, but as they say, just take out the woke messaging, and I think we should be good. But as they say, it is what it is. And then for Bing ads, obviously cost savings, it has all this type of stuff. How to do the cost savings. It pretty much breaks everything down for you. Call to action and all that type of stuff. Custom size, extensions, the promotional code, like put code this on this website and then you'll get like a certain percentage off. For the first, like it's a monthly campaign for the first month, and then we have like a case study. Then you can do other case studies, or like if you want to see if it's compatible, you can call our engineers or our certain department and all that type of stuff. And then obviously what we have is cross-platform. So pretty much what that would be is that how would your source, so pretty much to sum it up, is like how would you convert your Meta community into like a YouTube community, or like a YouTube community into like an X community or something along those lines? And then like how would you convert them and then get them to watch it and then double your views and everything? And then you have obviously obviously A/B testing. So like this is our brand and this is like something like Staples or like Walmart or whatever it could be. And all that, or like I guess the best example would be like the Coke versus Pepsi challenge, or Pepsi versus Coke. You have a Coke and you have a Pepsi, and then you're asking, like, that would be A/B testing, and you're asking which tastes better. And after, you know what, I think this is the Coke and this tastes better. I think this is the Pepsi and this tastes better. And then the person would say, actually you're drinking Pepsi, or actually you're drinking Coke. Oh, that's interesting. So like stuff like that. And then obviously geo-targeting. So that would be like if you want to target like a certain like region. So like I'm looking for certain types of people within like Texas or this or that, and they're within this industry, and I want to only target directors or something like that, and like it filters everything out. And then but now I only want to target directors that are in this, that are between the ages of let's say 30 to like 45 or something along those lines, or like all that type of stuff. And then but on top of that, now I only want to target Asian people, or I only want to target, you get the idea. And then you can start like filtering it out and get smaller and smaller and smaller until like you finally get like the people that you're looking for. And then Google, and then after for this, like you can like do things for like based on like all that type of stuff. Like based on the material it is, you can like adjust certain things to match, obviously, like if it's a hotter climate or stuff like that, like weather resistant, stuff like that. You can even put that. So now I'm looking for people who are weather resistant, and then you had that, and then based on all the information, you target everything. And after, the more precise everything is, then like usually like the search would be like this. But the more information, you're just like, it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. You see the circle getting smaller until like, okay, there you go. That's what I want. And then we have dynamic ads. So retargeting for like dynamic ads, like making it more engaging, and obviously to reduce people's like, how would you say, like they put it in the cart and then they don't buy it, or they just forget about it. And then obviously their performance KPIs. So to see like, okay, my goal is this, I achieved this goal, I achieved this, and like, and like stuff like that to make it more engaging, to make sure that like you can increase it. And after, the more you increase it, then based on that information, I know who to target. I know, since these are the people who are buying it, I'm going to make it more engaging for them. Or these are the people who aren't buying it, I'm going to modify it and see if I can get more information so I can convert them, or I can get them as a customer or something along those lines. So again, this is just an example here, as I said, but you can customize it to whatever you want. Like if, let's say you're like, how do you say, this is just like, this is paper that it's plastic, but it's actually feels like paper. But like, you can customize it to say, like, let's say I'm trying to sell a new type of shoe, or I'm trying to sell like a competitor to like Tropicana or something along those lines. And then you would use this method, and like by doing that, then yeah, you can customize it, obviously put your information, and then it would just, obviously, instead of it being the plastic paper that feels like actual paper, like stuff like from Walmart, like for like your printer and everything. Or if you want to write something down, people don't really write anymore, but for people that do, which I don't know, well, maybe if you're in a small village in Europe, but aside from that, but you can do all that, and then you can customize it, like stuff like Tropicana, or let's say you're making a new shoe and you want to go in competition with Reebok or Nike or whatever it could be, and then you can customize it, and then you can have like an outline, and then you can like follow the steps, and then you can modify. Okay, no, this isn't working. Can you please change it to do this, and then to target this, and to do all that. So, like, let's say you would like to change it and say like, so what you would do is, and then, so obviously I prompt, so this would be like a prompt. So you would prompt this and say, I would like to change this so I can have an ad to be Tropicana. My product is juice. And then I would hit enter on, and then obviously they're gonna say, what type of juice are you going for? Tropicana is more famous for orange juice, but they also have other juices. And after, are you going for orange juice? Are you going for strawberry? Like kind of like a strawberry type of thing. Are you going for lemonade? Tropicana lemonade is actually really good too. But like stuff like that. Are you going for lemonade? Are you going? What did you get the idea? And then ChatGPT, then, or whatever, DeepSeek. I'm gonna start comparing now these to see which is better. And then it would change everything based on all that. And it'll say changing, and after, then it'll give you like, okay, if you want to market this, you do this and this, and then after, it would ask you like, what is the name of your orange juice? Like, I'm gonna put like, I guess, orange. And then obviously I would, this is just like, and then I put the name, Mr. Z Orange Juice, or like whatever the company your name is, and after, or let's say it's such and such shoe, or let's say it's called like Nike, and now you're calling it like, I don't know, you're calling it Super Rabbit or whatever you want to call it. And then you would type that prompt in, and after then this would change, and then you hit enter, and then it would change. And let's say you want to now like do better and say, you know what, it's good, but I want to modify it better. Then you can put like the search the web, and then it would search all your other competitors or Tropicana, like, and like get an idea of like what it is. Or let's say you want something a little bit more in depth. So you would hit the reasoning, make sure it's blue. So I'm going to do this, and then it's highlighted in blue. And then you can do that. So like, or let's say you don't like typing and you want to like dictate it. You can put the dictate, you can get your mic, like what I have, and then you can dictate everything. Like there's like other ways of doing it. And then it's going to ask you as well, like, okay, well, like I still need a picture and stuff like that. So then you would like get a photo from like your computer. So upload from computer. And then now let's say this is like my AI portfolio, but like, let's say this is like the project, but like I'm going to probably put that as number, this is like a project. So now let's say that's what I put, previous project. But now let's say this is the juice I want. Let's say this is the juice, hypothetically. And then I would do that. I would hit open. And then it would open up the picture, and then the picture would load, and then there you go. So that's another way of doing it. So there's different ways. Ask you for your picture, ask you, but the same thing, no matter what AI you're using. Well, except for DeepSeek, because DeepSeek can only do text at the moment, but maybe with the R2 model, it can actually go beyond that. But again, that's how you would do a ads campaign on ChatGPT. I'm going to compare it. I'm going to see how DeepSeek does it, but I'm not too sure if they can do the photos, but they can do something similar. But whole point is that that's how you would do it. And as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. And as always, Mr. Z out.